I'm here with Director Ervis Zika, and today we are breaking down how we shot our short film Hesitation for a total budget of 300 euros.
Hi, I'm Ervis Zika.
This is actually the first film that we shot together in 2023, and it was quite an interesting experience. We just want to talk about some technical stuff today, how we scouted the locations, and what kind of interesting problems and challenges we had to overcome to make this film happen.
Yeah, you know, as an independent filmmaker, you just go and you shoot.
I had one guy with a parrot on his shoulder in the tram.
As you said, I was getting angry.
So it's nice to have you here, man.
Nice to see you, Tom.
You want to have a quick introduction, maybe?
Yes. My name is Ervis. I'm a film director. I have been directing for 4 years now. Hesitation is my second short. Recently, I'm writing a screenplay for feature, and hopefully we'll be ready for the next year to produce it.
That sounds nice. I would say let's just talk about what we used for this film. We used the FX3. Or FX30? Yeah, actually, it was the FX30. Yeah.
FX30.
It's a super nice camera.
They're quite similar, right?
Yeah, pretty much.
What's the difference? Do you know the difference?
The biggest difference is actually that the FX3 has dual ISO in a way that the second ISO is way higher. So it's almost like a night vision camera, and the FX30 is not so much of a night vision camera. It still has dual ISO, but the top ISO is 3200 if I remember right, and the top ISO of the FX3 is 12.6K, so it's way higher.
Okay.
But I only own an FX30, and I think we used this for the shoot together with these awesome serial lenses that maybe you can talk a bit more about it.
Yeah, sure. The lenses, by the way, I really want to thank so much Siri company, the brand for the lenses which we used, because they was very kind, specifically you, which is the ambassador in Europe, specifically for this brand. And she gave us a whole package of 5 lenses for free, just to shoot, to support us as independent filmmakers to shoot this short film. And yeah, to be honest, the lenses was really, really nice. I'm very happy with the quality.
Yeah, I remember Ranjit, our first AC, being in my flat when we just first tested them out, and he was just in the kitchen, and he put the lens on and was like, "Whoa, everything looks like a goddamn film now."
Yeah, well, I will totally agree with that. That it's true that anamorphic lenses definitely give this cinematic look.
Yeah, it's probably because it's so wide.
Yeah.
And this certain bouquet, I remember that the serial lenses, this lens specifically, they have this nice bouquet on the side. It's almost like it just gets slightly blurry.
Yeah.
I would also say they're a bit too wide. I feel like 1.6. We show you guys some footage of the short film in a second, but I really felt that they're just a bit too wide. Too much
actually,
crop,
I wanted to add that too. That even though I was really super happy to shoot with them. I felt also especially on the editing room when I was editing, 1.6, it's a little bit too much for the genre of the film. But besides that, I think it's really nice look to have this cinematic, very wide, long picture.
I mean, who doesn't like anamorphics? It's pretty hard to dislike them. The only problem we had is inside the FX3, they I think right before the shoot they released this software update that you can de-squeeze in camera. Or maybe it was after. Oh no, it was after the shoot actually, we couldn't do it. And my monitor, my on-camera monitor, could only de-squeeze 1.66.
Yeah.
Which looked still terrible, so it was really hard to shoot because we always had to guess how it's
exactly. Yeah.
De-squeeze.
Right. And I used as director monitors, I had the tablet which I was using, and I still remember that there wasn't not the squeeze 100%. So we had sometimes just to guess how the squeeze will be later.
Was it de-squeezed at all on your monitor? I'm not sure.
I don't remember. But I remember we was talking about that, and I remember it was quite challenging.
Yeah. So
just want to say that. So just guys to know that take care of your camera. If your camera supports anamorphic lenses, and it can de-squeeze on the monitor, otherwise you will have a small problem, big problem, whatever you call, but you will have problem to guess.
It's pretty hard to guess what you have on screen. I would say this is like maybe after the technical part here, maybe it's time to just have a look into the short film. Let's just show like, I don't know, 10, 15 seconds and
we can do
talk
that,
about it.
But sorry guys, we can't show so many stuff because the film right now is in the festivals running, so we just sneak peek some small part of it.
Yeah.
Enjoy.
Yeah. I still love this advertisement on the right side.
Yes.
It's like, this is also like such a weird shot, but somehow it works. Still like it.
God damn it. This train is always late.
Yeah. And
can you go back a little bit?
Yeah. Where?
Here. Can you press? So I just want to add on this point exactly here is that what I like again for anamorphic lenses and this very wide frame, it's what's called this
frame.
Frame, is that every line which is like horizontal, it's super clean. Like you can see, like I can count 10 or 15 lines which goes from one side to the other, and yes, of course the location helps also for that, but I will say that also the lenses itself, it gives this feeling more, like gives more depth. It's more cinematic from my perspective. It's more cinematic because of the lenses. By the way, we can talk later about the mistakes. The flex here, it's me with
Oh yeah. Oh my god, I never realized. But there's actually legs of yourself.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
If you go like under the advertising, which maybe we have to cut on the editing the advertising for the video YouTube, but if you see here, like under is like where legs, me and the sound Guilherme.
I never realized. I never ever realized.
I mean,
and I saw this like 200 times probably.
This is the magic of films.
Yeah, I don't think anyone cares about that. The second part we want to show you guys really quick is, I guess, this montage that we did in the middle. Let's just show you guys. Oh my god, I have so many stories in mind regarding that. This is my favorite shot. This is my favorite shot in the whole movie.
It's really good. It's really good.
Okay, let's spoil not so much, but I think we have a lot of stuff that we can talk about here.
Yeah.
The first one is I was sick as hell while we shot this. I was basically dead.
Tom has this thing that every time we shoot or before or after the shooting, he will get sick. I mean, look, like filmmaking, generally speaking, it's a very hard physical work. Of course, mentally too, especially if you have positions like a DOP, director, producer, and so on. It can be very, very, very difficult. But like generally speaking, filmmaking, for everyone outside there to know that it's physically, you have to prepare yourself because you're going to get wrecked in the pieces in the end.
And so I was just like really, really sick and just trying to survive on that. But there were like some shots where I was so happy about that I was like not giving a shit that I was sick. So this is what I remember from this kind of. We all shot this in like one day, I assume, except for the Temple of One. I'm not sure.
No, well, all the B-rolls or the I don't know how to call it, cinematic. It's like the friendship building of the story is shot in one day, half day actually. Yeah, it was shoot all together.
I remember that for the specific shopping mall scene that we obviously had no permission, and I would highly advise you to not have any permission. Don't tell anyone, but just go for it. I mean,
just go for it. Yeah.
Don't wait for permission. Just ask for forgiveness.
And if you get kicked, just try another one. I think you really have to go for it. Otherwise, you will get stuck to.
Yeah. I mean, we can talk about the train station. Don't do this for train stations. We had a permission for the train station.
Yeah.
But we didn't have a permission for the shopping mall, and we asked some people inside the H&M shop,
right,
and they were just like, no, you cannot shoot here.
Yeah.
And we were like, fuck, what do we do now? And then we just went to the next store with like just a tiny handheld FX30 camera. We just rigged it down completely.
Exactly. We just had the camera and the lens, nothing else. Really.
Exactly. For this shot here with like with the
Exactly.
beanie on her head.
With this one, it was just you. I think even me, I wasn't there for that shot. I think it was you, Mary and Diana, two actors, and Tom, and they was just shooting, very quick. Secretly shots,
secret documentary style almost, which was a bit hard with the lighting. We were actually searching for a shop that had like top lighting only, so it looks a bit more cinematic at least, because we obviously couldn't like set up lights, and we found this specific one, which I think the shot is nice with like the socks in the foreground on the right side. I'm pretty happy about it. And then I remember that we just went to the next location at Tempelhofer, and we were like super lucky with the weather. I remember that the sun was coming out. I was screaming at everyone like, guys, get on position, this looks absolutely perfect. I remember that I saw this particular shot in a commercial. Like it's stolen, as everything in art. It's like highly inspired and a bit stolen.
You know what I remember now from this shot is that we was a little bit like 115 meters away from this location where the final shot is taken, and you was like, Ervis, we need to go there. And I was like, why? We have so many places here. Like we can just shoot here. Like we don't have time,
I just saw it like a day earlier somewhere.
And I just want to add on that like sometimes as a director can be very hard to trust other people on how visually you go, but I think you sometimes just have to let it be. You really, really just trust the people, trust your crew, especially in these small budget productions.
I can elaborate further on that. I feel like we had this one moment on the shoot where we were like not sure how to handle this. I was like, I want to have the shot like this, and you just had like a completely different opinion. And I remember that it happened like in the first 10 minutes of the shoot. And I think we solved it quite quickly. I was just like directly asking you, because you were like getting a bit angry. I felt like I wanted to de-escalate, and was like, how do we want to go about this? Like, how much image decision, like creative decision power do I have? And maybe you can tell me how you felt in that moment.
Well, as you said, I was getting angry.
It's fine. It's fine. I would have gotten angry. So
that's true. I think what was the issue, I will not say the problem, because everything can be solved. I think what was that we didn't have the discussion before. Well, first of all, we didn't have also location scouting except the train station. The rest have been just like, we just walk there. Oh, you like that? Okay, we like that. Let's go shoot there.
I mean, I wouldn't do that again as well. I think we both have grown to be a huge fan of pre-production, and back in the day we didn't.
I definitely agree. Pre-production always. Specifically for that, what you was just saying. I was getting so angry, but then what I really liked for me was like, I don't really want to do that right now. I really don't want. And then you came and you was like, Ervis, I think we should talk about it, and I really appreciate that. I think really was a really good move from your side to talk about that. And after we talked, I think we really found a solution, which, by the way, the solution was like, look, we do what you say, and then we try also what I say, like in the end we was like,
we were just doing both.
We were doing both.
And I can tell you guys, it's like you can never predict if his shot or my shot is actually better for the editing. In the editing, sometimes you're like, I was completely wrong. In the last shot, in the last film I shot, like Red Bloom, the director was telling me like, oh, just go a bit lower, and I was like a bit, I don't like the shot so much. It was way better than what I had, because sometimes you're just like wrong, right? You just have to admit that you're wrong sometimes.
You do.
Especially if you don't have such a long pre-production.
Exactly.
Yeah, that was a fun moment, I feel like. Let's come back to the train station.
Yes.
Because I remember that we scouted the train station very early on in the process, like a few weeks before. We just went there for like a weekend. Yeah. And we were like, no way we get a permission for the from the Deutsche Bahn, like they are just
It's a
known to be very
Deutsche Bahn
bureaucratic.
is the German. You can say something about
The
that.
German train station company. Yeah. I think it's
public, right?
Yeah, it's public, and it's like the majority is owned by the German state, or German country. I don't know.
So it's very difficult to reach them. This is the point.
Extremely difficult to reach them. We thought, at least, and they are very known for being very bureaucratic and being extremely late and never on time.
Yeah, that's true.
Which is also true for their system, their management system. I don't know how we went about it. Like Marina, our producer, she made an amazing job, because in the end we got a permission in like
I kind of remember the story.
Right?
I can say a bit about that. Well, first, this was not our first choice, which I think it's also very necessary for pre-production, is that you don't stick to just one thing. So try to go as many as possible you can to different location and look for the lighting, look for everything, because I remember we was to Charlottenburg, which was 2 stations before, or 1 station before, and we was, we shoot here, like looks really nice. And then we went to the location, to that one particularly, and then we was like again, oh wow, no, actually this one is better. This is the location. So we went there, and then we was making frames with Tom. We was like with camera. I think you had the camera that day.
Yeah, I think I had it.
Yeah. And we was like capturing some frames to how we will tell the story, where the camera will be. And there on the station specifically was like a little house. I think it's like an office from Deutsche Bahn. And our producer Marina, very brave, she was there, and she was like, okay, you know what? I will go to ask them, And then she went there, she asked, and they gave her an email. And after maybe even the same day, she wrote them, and we got the answer a week after.
And 2 weeks later, we had permission.
And exactly. Like 2 weeks later, like
4 pages of like requirements, of course. Like,
of course,
no lights, like don't disturb the train drivers, stuff like that.
Yeah. And we also wasn't allowed to remove the people from the platform. We just had the permission to shoot there, but do nothing. Change nothing, no lights. And it was challenging, but
we used to put lights anyway, but whatever.
It was a nice experience. It was interesting for me specifically to go through this very bureaucratic way of getting permissions and everything, because as an independent filmmaker, you just go and you shoot.
You just go and shoot and do it, right? All right, let's talk about the lighting on this one, because we went there like super early in the morning at like 6 a.m. or something, or 7 a.m. Just to avoid the people on the platform. And this shot, you can see that there are like these amazing top lights that I really, really liked while we scouted the location. And it turns out they are completely controlled by the light that is hitting the sensor. So when it got too dark on location, they turned back on. If it got too bright, they turned off to save some power.
Yeah. So, and guess what, right? We're in Germany, we're in Berlin, and the weather here, as everyone knows who's living here and not living here, is that it's changing all the time. So what happening actually was like, sometimes it was just a tiny like cloud coming on top of the sensor, and the light was turned on. And later, like just 10 minutes later, we were, okay, let's wait for a second to turn off, and just a little bit later it was turning off again, it was a nightmare.
And this always happened when we were done with the white shot. Like the white shot was completely fine, and then we wanted to do the close-ups, and every 10 minutes it either turned on or off, and we were like, this can't be real, like what the fuck is going on. So it took us ages actually to shoot this over the shoulders that you can see right here. But we didn't have to use
over the shoulder or over the back.
It's over the back. I think we can agree that this is going over the back.
I don't really know how you can call this shot, but maybe somebody can write us in a comment below what you will call this this frame. But I'm not sure if it's over the shoulder.
I don't know. We used like a minimum amount of lights. I remember that we used my jacket as negative fill all the time for these close-ups. And I think we only had like one light on the top left of the frame here, like one small LED panel that we just used as a hairlight, and everything else was just working because we had the sun coming from just outside of the train station,
Right.
perfectly hitting them as a backlight. So it worked quite well. To be
Yeah.
honest, it wasn't really planned, right? It was a bit lucky as well.
Yes, of course.
Yeah, sometimes you gotta be lucky.
You need some luck in this business, otherwise.
And then use your luck. You know, you have to know how to position the actors.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, so not much lighting happening here. We also had a reflector, I remember. I think we had a
too.
reflector. We had my jacket, my big jacket as a negative fill, the winter jacket, and we had 2 tube lights. I think that we just mounted. They were magnetic.
On top, yeah.
Yeah, we just mounted them on the sign.
Here we shot without. Wait, give me a second. There's a shot here. No. Yeah, this one. This one. You create this lighting here.
Oh yeah. This
You remember you used like a panel, I think, on top.
Yeah, this dancing shot. We used the panel on top.
Mm-hmm.
We didn't end up using a lot of this whole scene that we filmed that day.
No.
Just like this one shot, but I agree that this one was the best one.
Yeah.
We had a bit of trouble controlling the lighting because this whole apartment was a bit too small. This room was a bit too small, and we didn't have like a lot of negative fill to do some stuff. So I just took like one top light and let them dance. And I still like it.
Yeah, looks good.
Yeah. Let's talk about the problems we had on the train station because I can tell you guys, in Berlin, people don't give a shit about anything. Like they see that there's like a huge camera, 2 actors, a sound guy booming in a boom mic. They're like, sorry, I have to sit down here now.
Exactly. Or I have to pass in front of your frame, you know? I have literally, now that I remember, really, and I was so pissed, in this particular shot here, exactly here, a guy came and just was walking exactly next to the actress. Like, for real, like, she just passed in front of the camera. I mean, it looks like it's far from here, but we was quite close from the actress.
Yeah,
so
like half a meter or a meter maybe.
So you could easily pass from behind us, but no, you know, like people sometimes are like, no, you know, like I really want to destroy you there. I really want to. I see that you are independent, broke filmmaker. Well, I make your life even worse now.
yeah. This happened all the time.
Yeah.
For like almost all these kind of shots, we had problems with people. I don't know. I don't think film production is such a interesting thing for people in Berlin, but in general they don't give shit. I have this one story that I always tell people is that I don't know the English word for it, but is it a parrot? I think these speaking birds. Yeah, I had one guy with a parrot on his shoulder in the tram. It was like chained to his neck, so it couldn't fly away. Nobody was interested in it at all. They just they didn't even look. And people have parrots on their shoulders, and people don't give a shit in Berlin. So it's kind of the beauty of the city, and also
Also this shot here, if you see these 2 gentlemen sitting behind the actors, actually they're not extras, they're not part of the crew. They're just especially the guy on the right. I remember begging him, please, sorry, we're shooting, the camera is there, can you just for a second let us just shoot this and then you can sit again. He just literally just look at me with such an attitude and went and just walk there and just sit there, and I said, okay, fuck it, you know.
And you did it in a nice way as well. You did it in a very nice way.
Yeah, of course, obviously. I was trying to be as polite as possible, but it didn't work. But to be honest, I like it.
It's good, you know. It's perfectly symmetrical.
It's very symmetric. It's I feel like even if I would put them as extras, if there was an extras in the film, I would not make them look so good. So I think it works in the end.
Yeah.
So sometimes, you know, instead of getting angry or feeling bad about it, you just let it be, and then you see it in the editing. I remember I saw that on editing when we were shooting. I was feeling really shit, that's destroying the frame now. And then I saw it on the editing. I was like, oh wow, this actually looks.
Yeah, because they set down perfectly symmetrically, and they have the right color palette in the wardrobe.
Exactly, it's really cool.
Super cool.
It's really cool.
So we said in the title that this film was made with 300 euros.
That's correct.
Do you remember what kind of budget we spent on what?
I do. I don't really still keep the bills and everything, but I kind of remember. Well, the truth is that most of the budget went to food. And I think it's very necessary, generally speaking, if you don't pay your crew, if you don't have the money for expensive equipment, minimum is food. And by food, I mean also how much you can afford that too. We went so we shot 2 days, so we had to pay around 150 for each day for food, which was included a meal, one meal.
And you didn't save really on the food cost because you invited us to a restaurant. I remember.
Of course, yeah,
to the
yeah,
Asian restaurant.
Yeah, we went to
where we got one of the scenes actually.
Exactly.
Accidentally.
Yes.
There's one of the scenes where the girls are sitting on the window.
Yes, and they're eating. That was actually true. Like we went to eat there, and I remember like the guys from the restaurant. They was like, "Oh, you're filmmakers. You're shooting something." It was actually we're shooting. You know, like
he was almost begging us to shoot there.
Yeah. Oh, if you need something, just like shoot. You know, like we're. So yeah, we shot something also there. So yeah, the 300 euros was for financing the food, and yeah, I think that was all. The rest have been everything added from us, so we didn't really have a lot of expenses.
Yeah, we were a bit lucky that everyone brought their own equipment, and we had the sound recorder, we had some Madbox stuff that we got.
Right. Yeah.
Ervis, you have to be extremely honest to me now.
Yeah.
What are your biggest learnings, and what would you never ever do again that you did like 2 years ago on this short film?
It's difficult to say, to be honest, because there are a lot of stuff that you learn and a lot of stuff that going on during the production, you know, like during the process.
Yeah.
Specifically, I remember that we didn't have a first AD. I think that was a big lesson for me, because I was trying to do that also by myself, and maybe worked, maybe not, but I felt after the shooting that okay, well, that's too much, just directing and doing AD and trying to keep on timing, because the thing is, the AD, one of the biggest job to AD is to keep tracking right the time, like everyone is doing their job and the timing is running. Well, if you are the director and then you are also AD, then you kill maybe the creativity. You kill your focus. Well, first of all, you lose your focus, right? You lose the focus on talking with the DOP, talking to the actors and actresses, like with the creative part. It kind of gets slowly away because you are on the other side, which is, are we on time? If it's anyone is missing, or is anyone hungry, or it's the equipment ready, or like what's going on like in the production. So that first AD is the biggest lessons for me from this one. What I will not do again, I don't know. It's like, to be honest, like every time when I finish the shooting, I always say I will not do this, that, and then in the second one, like, you forget, or you will do it again, but it will be less stressful, you know. I think it's part of the process.
Yeah, it is. I mean, I hope we can agree on that next time we do a bit more of pre-production.
Yeah.
Because we were extremely lucky, like extremely lucky on this shoot. It could have gone like in a completely different direction.
Yeah.
I mean, of course, this like small stuff like the people in the background sitting at the right position, you cannot plan that. But I think we also we improvised a lot, which worked out fine. But if the weather on this day would have been like completely different, for example, I think I'm not sure if we could have gotten away with it. I think we had to shoot it again at this point. Yeah,
I will agree. No, pre-production, right? But this one thing that I always say, but it's always feels complicated sometimes. But no, pre-production for sure. It's a big lesson to like take care of pre-production.
And also the small stuff, right? Like that there is a toilet next to the train station. We didn't realize that, and then people had to go to the next gas station, which was like 15 minutes away.
Yeah, right.
And which was maybe me. Luckily, I have a scooter. I have an electric scooter, and I was just like cruising there. But
the location scouting, right? Guiding first needs for the crew. Yeah.
That's all the small stuff you have to think about, and that's why it's sometimes useful to have more people involved and have like producers and
Exactly.
try to ask your friends if they can help you.
Exactly, yeah.
One thing we haven't talked about yet is sound, which was quite tricky. And I feel a bit sorry still for the sound person because we didn't think about it at all, like zero.
Yeah.
We just didn't think about it. Yeah. You want to elaborate on this one, or should I?
Yeah. No. I mean, one thing we realized very quick once we was on the location and the camera was ready and the sound was ready and everyone was ready, we just for me to say action. We realized that they're full of trains, obviously, right? Train station. Yeah. So you have train coming from up. It was also like a bridge, right? So it was like, it's not just like 1-2 lines. It's like 2-3 lines where we were shooting. And then was a bridge also where the train was passing. So I think it was like every 2 minutes, every 1 minute was just a train passing or stopping or...
Yeah. For everyone living in Berlin, we shot at West End.
West End, yeah.
Yeah, which is... whatever, in the northwest.
Charlottenburg area.
And the problem was also that there was a replacement service in place, so this was like the end station at this day,
right?
Which really helped us for some scenes, but for this one in particular, it didn't help us because we had to also wait for the train to disappear again every single time. So, and obviously it turned out to be an extreme nightmare in the sound editing because you have continuous train sounds, which you can never edit out.
True, but I remember something. I remember really like realizing that, of course, the sound is going to be trash. Like you can use that. So I really like on the spot on the set. I was remember saying to myself that okay, after we go in post production, we need to record again the sound. So then what we did was like we went at Tom's place where he has some instruments to record. And we did, what's called that? It's not dumping.
ADR.
ADR.
Additional dialogue recording.
Yeah. So we did ADR.
For the first time ever. I've never done that.
Also
I mean, I have a background in music and I have all this equipment and I know how to do some stuff with audio engineering. But it was quite hard for the actors. I think they also did it for the first time, dubbing themselves and EQing it in a way that it sounds not too much like this microphone, which I still haven't 100% figured out. I feel like, but it wasn't easy. I remember that we had some situations where it was psychologically difficult for some actors.
Yeah, because I think voice actors and actors, I think there have, of course, a lot of similarities, but if you are just an actor, you definitely need some practice and you need some time to get into the voice actor. Yeah. Because I realized by working with Diana and Mary at that day when we was recording that it needs more work on, not physically, but like definitely, of course, obviously for the voice, but it needs also like something extra because you don't see the body, right? You don't when you're an actor in the front of the camera, the audience can get a little bit distracted also by your body movement. But when you are a voice actor, no one is seeing what you're doing, so your voice have really to mimic this movement. So I remember we was talking with Diana and Mary, like, okay, now we need, a little bit more high, a little bit more low, and trying again and again till we found the perfect voice expression for the scene.
And I think, if I remember right, it also helped that we just recorded in chunks. Like at the end, we just recorded like 2 different sentences. Right. Not even sentences, words at times. Yeah. And then we just made extreme progress. Once everyone is like in the right headspace, they get really good at it, and then it worked out pretty good. Yeah. I'm not sure if you can tell in the final results. I think if you know. I mean, it
can be always better.
Yeah.
But I think it's a really good made for first time we tried. Like it's a good job. Yeah. Definitely. And editing and recording and acting. Obviously, acting was really good.
Yeah. I'm also quite happy with the sound at this point. Yeah. It was super nice talking to you. If you guys enjoyed the conversation, please make sure to subscribe to this YouTube channel and write any questions you have in the comments. Anything. You can also roast us if you want.
No, don't do that.
No?
I'm joking. Be honest, write also comments. We are also learning filmmakers, so we are also on our beginning. So feel free to share any thought. Of course, subscribe my friend Tom YouTube channel. He's doing an amazing work. And yeah, maybe that is not the last one, to be honest.
Yeah, thanks. I guess you. How do you say that in English? I guess you tasted it a little bit, right?
I tasted a bit.
You
This is my
you like
first time, so
It's his first time in front of a camera.
Yes,
you can't really tell. I feel like
I'm a director. I stay always behind the camera, but today I'm in the front, and that feels okay.
Cool.
Enjoy.
Thanks, guys. Have a great time. See you next time.
Bye.
Bye.